We crack open the cold one with the crew. Rod J bringing brews, AP got the screw. Midwest vibes, pouring pints, yeah we grinding. Shells of Fox and Morse, keep your minds rewinding. Across the state, spread the word, that's how we do. From the grass to the cans, always something new. Raise your glasses, cheers to the cherry sauce. And every sip, till the stories evolve.
Hear news blowing up, hear the chatter.
Midwest Beer Show, race in the cloud. Border on the mic with the passion and blast. Dave Z's got the knowledge for an history fast.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another Midwest Beer Show on this Saturday evening, December 13th. It's right there on the bottom of the screen, right there in front of me. So it's snowy December 13th here in Cincinnati. I don't know what it is out there, Dave, if you got any snow out there, but we're sitting up where I'm at about 5-6 inches right now, I believe. So
we had that last weekend, but it's just cold. What do we got here? It is 9 degrees and are calling for like 0 overnight.
Yeah, we're 20 degrees right now, and by tomorrow it'll be down into the low single digits. And for those going to the Bengals game, you'll be looking at, I think they were saying close to maybe minus 15. So bundle up if you're planning to go. I mean, you got to be a diehard to go to a Bengals game in minus 15 weather in my book, because I don't think it's worth it when it's that cold to watch the Bengals play. But they're playing the Ravens, so it's an interconference type thing. Yeah. So
same thing here. You know, the Bears are playing good. They're playing Cleveland, which should be a win, but you never know. But it's like, oh no, that's too cold. I'll sit home and watch it on TV.
Definitely what I would call flask weather. Get a little whiskey in there with you as you go. So, yeah. But for those of you coming back here to check out the show, we appreciate you here on Rod J BeerVentures or on Beer in Front, whichever one you're watching on, as we are simulcast on both. And if you're watching on mobile or on regular horizontal computer, we appreciate that too, as StreamYard has now made the opportunity to be able to live stream both ways, which is nice, because I know some of you guys are on the go and you'd like to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. So what were you going to say, Dave? Were you going to say something? Are you going to delay?
No, it was like cutting in and out where I couldn't hear you. No, I hear it now fine, but like when you were talking, it was like cutting. I don't know if you see underneath my name, I have no internet, have an internet issue, so I'm doing this on my phone. So hopefully I don't get cut off here.
Well, at some parts, Dave might be a mime tonight, so we'll see how that goes. He'll start doing hand gestures. But
this is like some Flintstone shit here without internet.
Well,
what am I gonna do tonight? I can't watch TV. I'm gonna have to read a book.
The one thing I would say with sometimes with Bluetooth, with headsets with StreamYard, you do get a delay sometimes. That's why I quartered mine back in. Right. So that might be what's throwing you off there too. It might not be you. It just might be StreamYard and the Bluetooth technology. That being said, I'm going to crack open a beer here. I know you've got one there. And I'm going to go a little bit. Well, I guess I'm not. I'm not going to really go out of the. I am going outside the Midwest, because this is actually done in California from Trader Joe's, and they usually do stuff over in Wisconsin, but it's going to be the Winter Ride Doppelbock, Double Bock. There you go. So 7.5% ABV, one that I scooped up a while back, and I'm going to start off with that one tonight. And then Dave, I don't know what you want to share, what you're actually drinking.
Well, I just finished the High Life, but I'm going to crack open Magic Eyes Only. This is a double IPA from Hidden Hand Brewery right here in Illinois. Oh, they got a lot going on here. They got Galaxy, Crush, Columbus, and HBC 1019 Incognito hops. So this should be a pretty good one. Hidden Hand always delivers.
I don't remember that HBC being one of the original hops from back in the day, but you know.
Yeah.
One of those lab generated ones now.
Yeah.
You take a look at this beer. This beer's got a great look on it. I mean, outside of the artwork, it's got a great look on the beer itself with the dark copper color, kind of like I guess a chestnut brown. Yeah, it's always surprising some of the things you find at Trader Joe's, because you can find some good deals in there.
Like, I don't know how it is by you, but like the Trader Joe's by us for craft, like they
Mm.
have a ton from Pipeworks Brewing, which puts out some good stuff. I mean, solid stuff from Pipeworks, but that's like it. They might have a single half acre, but it's all Pipeworks, and then it has like their store brand at uh I want to call it Meisterbrow, but it's like their store brand beers. But they don't have
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of craft at mine anymore.
yeah. Joseph Browse there. That's the
Yeah,
one that's
yeah.
under this one here, and we still got a few craft, not as much as we used to have. But
Mhm.
it's funny because our Trader Joe's, the last few times I went in, they're not even getting the vintage beers.
Okay.
So that's kind of weird that they're not getting that as well. So maybe they're just doing some different things in different markets and kind of shrinking what they're actually having on hand. And welcome, Anthony. Shout out to you. Cheers. Happy Saturday night. Or unless you're over in Europe Saturday morning, we do have some of the European fans that come through. We're not getting into that. This is a beer show, but I mean,
Yeah.
just not all Americans take guns to school. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to read this on my phone. I'm going to put my bifocals on. I can't see what he wrote.
Yeah, he was asking about American taking guns to school. I mean, because they had a shooting at Brown today. I don't know if you saw that or not. At Brown University. So sad state of things that happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, can't lump us all in there together because a lot of us, a
Yeah.
good amount, most of us don't do stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but hitting into let's see some of the beer news we can kind of generate in. Now I'm going to be actually doing a lot of stuff from my end because as Dave mentioned, he has no internet, so I'll be kind of guiding some stuff through here to be able to kind of share and talk about. And obviously, Dave, you're going to be like the color commentator probably tonight on stuff.
Yeah.
So. But we just came out of the nomination period for the next American Craft Beer Hall of Fame inductees. That just happened actually in between shows. So that was last Friday, the 5th was the deadline to get the votes in. So I did cast my ballot in on the 5 that I chose out of the 10 that were available. And usually we'll have that early. Well, they'll know before we will, but I think they usually announce they're going to do it around February, I believe. But this year's inductees, and I'll pull it up here as well so you can see it on the screen. There we go. We're looking at Charlie Bamforth, Larry Bell, Sam Callione. I think I was going to say it like in a Godfather type name.
Yeah.
You tell me, Dave. You're Italian. How should I pronounce it?
You know, I still call it gabagool, so you're asking the wrong guy. I'm Italian American.
Yeah, Kim Jordan, Ray Daniels, Terry Fernendorf, Garrett Oliver, Pete Slosberg, Mitch Steele, and Carol Stout. So they'll end up getting in. Hopefully the 5 that get the most ballots behind them, they do have to clear a threshold, so it might not be all 5, I believe, because they kind of do it after like the baseball, the way they do the process, which is kind of weird. I just saw a thing this last week. Only one person cleared 75% for the Baseball Hall of Fame. So they're going to have a party of one?
Well, that was the Veterans Committee, and then they'll vote on the others in January. So, yeah, only one out of the Veterans Committee got in.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting to, when I saw that, it was like, that doesn't make sense. So, but here are the nominees and some great names as always. A few were on the ones last year as well. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to say 6, maybe 7 were on the one that we had last year. It's hard to can't get everybody all in at one time, right? But it's all people that are worthy of getting in there. So anybody that jumps out to you, I know you're a fan of Pete's Wicked. So
yeah, I mean, everyone is a well-deserving person. You know, I just talked to Marty on Thursday, and I was going to get the episode out tomorrow. I don't know if I don't have internet. It might be kind of hard to edit. So, But yeah, I'll have an episode with Marty out this week, and we talked about, the Hall of Fame. We talked about his new book that's out as well. So, but yeah, like all 10 are worthy. Like
Yeah.
there's still a person that I think should be in there and is not, but I'm not a judge, so I can't do anything about it. But everyone on that list is well worthy of being inducted.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like we don't even get to decide who goes on the list. We just get presented with the list, and they have a different advisory committee that comes up with the names. So, reach out to Marty, let him know if you think somebody should be in there, have them consider.
Yeah.
That there's always everybody's got blind spots. So yeah. But I'm anxious to see who we actually get in there. Shout out to KO in the house. Cheers, my friend. Yes, the Midwest Beer Show. Although, if you're not in the Midwest, we probably still got some good stuff for you to listen to anyway. Yeah. So we just focus mainly from the Midwest. But like tonight, we'll be getting into something that's not in the Midwest that's kind of blowing up social media right now. So it'll be interesting to get into that story because I keep finding out more and more over the last 48 to 72 hours. Wants to hear Bourbon County reviews for this year. I do have all the Bourbon County except the prop because I'm not in Chicago like Dave is, but I haven't drank any of them yet. I haven't done any of the reviews. Bourbon County is kind of a weird type thing. Like I get them, but I don't always drink them immediately. Like they go to the cellar a lot. Like I got stuff in the cellar from last 4, 5, maybe 6 years down there still that I haven't cracked open. But I'm going to try to get to them. Easily the base I'll get to because I got like 2 of the 4-packs. So
okay,
the way they
I haven't bought any of them yet. I keep seeing like the 4-pack of the base, and you didn't mind buying it when it was the bigger bottle if it was like $10-11, but now the 4-pack is like 25 to 30, and it's kind of like so I put them down. I know I'm going to grab it at one point. It's not like it's an IPA and you have to drink it fresh, so I'll get it sooner or later, but I have not grabbed it yet.
Yeah, it's kind of weird the way it is, but I ran in my head. I ran the numbers. Here it was like 20, I think $25.99 for the 4-pack, and I'm like, well, before you were usually paying at least here like $13.99 for just a 16.9. So you're getting a 4 for 40 ounces for the basically $26. So you kind of come out a little bit. I guess you come out a little bit better. Where if you got 2 16 ounces, it would have cost you up until a little bit more possible. Well, you're getting 4 or 5 more ounces than you had a 216, kind of around the same price point. It's just, I was like, might as well. And then I was like, you know what? I went back another time and they were at my Kroger, and I'm like, I get another 4-pack because I'm going to save some for later anyway. So yeah. But it's funny because one of our local breweries here in Ohio, Warp Wing, just came out with their whiskey Rebellion series. And you guys can see these on the Facebook page where I have their beers as well. And, the biggest bottle, they're all like 16.9, but the most priced bottle, $19.99. The other ones are kind of like $12.99. I think one might be $13.99, but they're all like really relatively inexpensive when you compare it next to Bourbon County. And it's kind of like, how much longer are people going to maybe want to pay the prices to get Bourbon County when they're getting other good barrel-aged beers coming out? Or is it just you're going to keep doing it because it's Bourbon County? I think at some point there might be a shift where people are kind of coming off of that, like dollar-wise. That's one of the things I'm examining now, even on the poll on my community page. For those of you that had checked that out, I know KO, you did. Just talking about the price of going out more. Are you paying more? Are you paying less? Are you going out more? Are you going out less? And I think prices are going to start to catch up with some people there. And it's like, I just thought about that on that beer when I saw their price list. I'm like, even if Bourbon County is slightly better, is it like $10 better or more of a bottle? Or if you're getting the like Heaven Hill where you're paying $40 basically for a bottle, is it $28 better than the other one? I don't know if maybe people are going to feel that way. Yeah.
There was a good thing. I forget if it was like New York Times or something, not with beer, but like what you were talking about going out. And they were saying like the price of beef is at like such a high level, and that a lot of people, like restaurants and high-end restaurants, they can't really afford to raise their prices that much because then people won't come in and do it. So it was a pretty interesting article just on the cost of beef, and they were saying that they don't think it's going to start coming down again until 2027.
Yeah. And there was a price study that was done on beer that I read, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, and how they're hitting kind of a buffer area as far as what you can do as far as 6-packs. Because a lot of your 6-packs, they used to be like, some of your craft $8.99, $9.99, $10.99. You start to see some get up around $12.99, $13. But when it came to 12-packs, they found they really couldn't move over the $19.99. It became detrimental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then there's a point, if you're going to do a 6-pack at $13.99, I mean, they're just paying the extra $6 and get the extra 6 beers at the $19.99, right? So they're running into kind of a buzzsaw on how far they can actually go, because they're finding out people were not going to pay more than $19.99 on a 12-pack based on some of the craft stuff they're seeing out there. It's interesting. I mean, you're always going to run into a type of ceiling with any type of product you're putting out there. I remember when I was back in college doing the MBA program, one of the simulations, we'd come up with a product and price it for the market. And it was always like finding where that sweet spot was when you put it out there. And it was kind of a cool little simulation you did. So yeah, that comes into play for a lot of these breweries. But the one poll, I'll share that here real quick as well. If you want to check it out there over on Rod J BeerVentures right here, rising prices change often when you go out for a pint. And so this is going to be one part of a series I'm actually doing. But like 47% said yes, and they go out much less now. 33%, no change at all they're seeing, so some steadiness out there. And 20%, yes, and I go out a little less than what I was going out before. But nobody's going out more thus far. Nobody said I actually go out more, right? So you have a lot more people staying at home and being a homebody type thing when it comes to maybe getting their pints or enjoying their beer, so to speak. It's always interesting to kind of see what's happening out there in the marketplace. How's your beer doing over there?
Really good. I'm like Hidden Hand. If you're in Illinois, you got to pick it up. They are, was it Lake Zurich, I believe? Let me double check.
Mm-hmm.
It's red print on a black can. You cannot read this. Naperville. That's right. They're in cahoots with Solemn Oath. But no, Hidden Hand is really good. This one's excellent. I mean, just an excellent double IPA. Not super hazy, but just a solid combo of hops. Good feel to this. I'm digging it.
Excellent. Yeah, this one was $7.99 for the 6-pack, and I'm 70.5% ABV, by the way, if I didn't say that. But you can do a lot worse than with X. I mean, this is like a steal. Like I said, hitting Trader Joe's sometimes, save a couple bucks, and I get beer that's on par with some of the craft breweries out there, and sometimes even better.
What's the aftertaste like on that? Sometimes I've had stuff from them that's on the higher side of the ABV, but I don't know if they're adding sugar in it to boost the alcohol content, but they've had some weird aftertastes.
I know with some of their stuff, people have talked about getting some of the metallic type things, or like it wasn't attenuated in a better way. But this one here actually has a nice aftertaste to it. It is a doppelbock, so you get like that toffee type feel, a little bit of a caramel type feel. Nice body. It's got a little bit of that syrupy type body texture, but aftertaste wise, it leaves some good flavors in the mouth. Definitely a holiday beer. I mean, it's one of those ones that kind of fit right in when you think about some of the holiday foods you're having, some of the holiday desserts. Like if you had this with some holiday ham, you'll be in good shape. And just, I think it does well on this one. Again, when I got it, I was actually surprised that, you look on their stuff and it's always like, oh, this was actually done at Unibrew, or this was done at somewhere else. But anyway, this was done through Joseph Brow, and I think they did a decent job on it. McKayo said he, as far as the Bourbon County, he liked the new bottles. He thought the price was better, but he wasn't thrilled with the base this year. And the base is actually a mix of, I did that video about that. I think it was like 7 different things that were involved. As far as barrel age, I say Bourbon County is better than average. Fremont makes a great bourbon in his area, but they charge $30 now, which is out of my range. Yeah, so you're getting some of that charge up there too. I mean, one of the ones I think that always makes a good one is Epic. And I talk about Big Bad Baptist from time to time. and they've been able to keep like their 16-ounce cans or $12.99. When they were doing the 22-ounce bottles, you were usually around maybe $17 or $18.99, but they contend well in that barrel age category, but they don't get the full, maybe because they don't get seen as much as Bourbon County. They don't get the full notoriety of how good their Bourbon counties are. And another one that actually, it probably will cost you a little bit, but I was always stunned when I found out when I was in Maryland, Other Half has a really good stout game and barrel aging. Although everybody kind of gets them for the IPAs and stuff like that, they do some really good stouts. So yeah, it's just interesting seeing some of the stuff out there. But like I said, Warped Wing, they're known for their Whiskey Rebellion series. I haven't picked them up yet. They just got to all the tap houses this weekend, and we had the snowstorm. So I'm gonna try to pick them up when I can, but see how they actually compare as well. Another thing on here, and this is actually one that you had saw out there, which is funny because you saw it out there, but I'm right here where it's at as well, is with Rheingeist and what they're actually doing here in Cincinnati. It's always funny when you find stuff in Cincinnati or I find stuff in Chicago. You're like, wait a minute, I'm right down the street from that place. But on what they're doing with their release lineup, the Truthadelic, which is being added to the Truth series, coming out here in 2026. And they got the NA beer also coming out, but the Truthadelic, hazy new jam, 9.5% Imperial Hazy IPA with pronounced notes of juicy orange, grapefruit, and tropical fruit. So one of the other beers I actually have here tonight I may drink is actually their Truth Bomb, which is another IPA that's part of the Truth series as well. And then they have their Ghost Hops. Again, they're in a market as well. So hazy IPA, and then a Great American Beer Fest medal-winning Ghost Pills. They also have now, too, the non-alcoholic Pilsner. So everybody kind of got blown away by that. This seems like Great American Beer Fest. And they got the other, the Truth. And then I mentioned Juicy. They got Juicy Truth. They got Truth Bomb. All these different ones they're building around. It's almost going away, like we talked in the past, about New Belgium and Voodoo Ranger, how they locked down that series. They're kind of locking it down with the Truth series they're actually doing. Yeah. But Rheingeist is always good. Have I gotten you some Rheingeist before? Or did you get some up there?
We can get some of their stuff here. So I know you've sent like stuff from like Sonder before and a couple other ones, but Rheingeist, I could usually get 2 or 3 of them here.
Okay.
Like Truth I could always get. And I forget the other 2, but there's usually a couple that I could get here.
Okay. Well, I know Truth is popular. Obviously, Bubbles is a popular one now. That's kind of getting a lot of
that was the other one I had with Bubbles. I was getting here.
But they also have their barrel age series and stuff they run. So I got to try to get you some of that stuff. But that's like in bottles. It's like their tinfoil type stuff, as I would call it. But I've got a few of those to be sharing. But they got a lot of good things they're doing at Rheingeist. So it's been great to see them come along through the years. Let's see here. Kale says, when I hear about the Midwest, I always hear about Hop Butcher. And I've had a few of the IPAs, which are great. Have you guys had their stouts? Yes. And as good as their IPAs, they're like Other Half. Their stout game is really good. So they do some really good stouts. People rave about the IPAs, but when you have their stouts, you get blown away as well. Yeah,
they do. Just came out like a couple weeks ago because it was the anniversary of them opening the Lincoln Avenue location. That one's like a barrel age that's really good. If you like mint and chocolate, they do. It's out now. It's like a holiday minted beer, and it has used to be a big department store here in Chicago, Marshall Fields, and they had Frango mints. So they were like little milk chocolate mints, and they use the oil from those mints in the stout. And that comes out this time of year. It's excellent. You know, they're known for their IPAs, but like they put out an Italian Pilsner right now that I'm going to try to pick up tomorrow. Their Pilsner game is great. Their stout game, everything they do it well.
Yeah. And I think they even did one time, I got one of theirs, I think it was their Mexican lager that was sent to me as well. Yep. So they did that. I was surprised when they had one of those and a few of other stuff there. I did that pistachio stout, right? That's a pretty good one.
Okay.
Have you had that? Have you had the pistachio stout yet? Or okay. Yeah, I remember having
I
that.
haven't
And I
had it
couldn't
this
tell it.
year. I know I've had it before, but it's been a while. But yeah, I was gonna run in there today, but I was like running back and forth trying to get modems and get all sorts of stuff done. So I kind of ran out of time. I'm like, I got to get back home. So I'll try
Right.
to get there tomorrow. Yeah.
Always worth the trip. And if you're hungry, got to go across the
Yeah.
street and get a burger. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Get a burger at the Bad Apple.
Yeah. uh, I totally know those Franco mints. I grew up in Illinois. So there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the beer is called, I think it's called Minted. And yeah, it's out now. And yeah, if you remember those Frango mints or, any like chocolate mints, I'm sure there are different chocolatiers around the country. They put those out. So imagine a stout with that, like those oils in there. And it
Yeah.
tasted just like the mint. It was great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody in Chicago that you know of ever teamed up, like, because everybody always do these collaborations, like teamed up with Garrett's to do the popcorn in any beer? Has
Yeah.
that been?
Revolution did.
Okay.
So Revolution, they put it out for like 2 years. And I don't really know if it's sold because they didn't do it this year. And it was like a caramel corn. So it was a caramel corn collab with Garrett's.
Mm-hmm.
Good, really good. You definitely had the caramel. You had like the corn feel to that. I'm like, you couldn't have put the cheese corn mix into that, but I don't think you want to be the person cleaning the tank after you're putting the cheese corn mix into the brew tank. But this was just caramel corn, and it was a decent beer.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, Chicago style is the cheese and the caramel, so you would think they would go Chicago style on it, but maybe they knew their limitation. We can't go that far. Yeah. Anybody ever gets to Chicago, get some Garrett's popcorn, which is great. I always love that stuff. We actually get a distributor or a Kroger here, but it's not the same as like being in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still
when it's like still warm and it like sticks to your hand when you reach in there, like your hands just like stick them. You're like Lester Hayes or Fred Bolitnikoff back in the day. Yeah.
Just dripping.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also, what you had pulled up here too, Yingling now entering Iowa and Wisconsin. So again, Yingling still not in every state, so they're coming first quarter 2026. And for people in those states, you'll now be able to get a bevy of their stuff. Usually it's the lager, it's the black and tan, it's the light. Some places are getting the flight as well, but it's not the full, but it's kind of like that little start to the market, and then they'll come out maybe with Oktoberfest if things are selling well and some of their other stuff. But do people really still look as forward to Yingling now? I mean, it's kind of like, are people still like back in the day where they would drive from one state to another state to get it because they couldn't get it in their state? I don't know if people still do that now. I don't know if it's still that desired.
I mean, it's a solid beer. I mean, if you're looking for a reasonably priced beer, like I would have that 10 times out of 10 over a macro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still good. It's just, one of those things, like, would you still drive 100 miles to get Yingling? Like, because you can get now you don't have to because we have so many other beer stuff. But back in the day, like, like Big Daddy Bojo, he was driving from Illinois down to Indiana when Indiana got it, I think. So,
Well, it's like people used to do that for Coors Cannonball Run just to get, regular Coors. Yeah.
Look back in those days now, like, what were we thinking? It wasn't even worth the run. But back then that was the desired one to go check out. So
what was the other one? The Craft Fat Tire. Before that became all over. Yeah, people and I went crazy. I had people before they canned it and before TSA did the 3-ounce thing. I had people bring me back a 12-pack of bottles. I'm like, I made a person carry a 12-pack of bottles of this shit through an airport.
So back in the day, before TSA, you could actually bring them in your own cabin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I know
Absolutely.
you could pack them in the what you're going to be putting under the plane, when you
Yeah.
check bag. But I didn't know you could do it back then with the just carry on. Okay,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Not a problem.
yeah. But I do remember like back in the traveling like in the mid late 70s, early 80s, and people would like pack like lunches and their stuff to bring on and get on the plane. They're breaking out Oscar Mayer sandwiches or something.
Yeah.
Like that. We used to have all kinds of stuff they would do to travel.
Because I work at O'Hare, and I'm right next to a security checkpoint. What I'm doing now, and just
Yeah.
looking at people, I'm like, "You're bringing in Popeyes? You're bringing in Portillo's? Look at you!" Yeah. They're like, "You don't feed us on a plane anymore."
Yeah, that is. I mean, that is one of the things that's different
Yeah.
now, as far as like not having the meal service.
Yeah.
And even if you fly first class, you don't really
Yeah.
get maybe a meal. You get more snacks.
Yeah.
Which is fine because when I fly first class, I'm just like, yeah, we can start serving now. I'm seated. You can go ahead and bring the alcohol over. But,
Yeah.
we went on
I
a
mean,
trip
you're not
one-
getting like back in the day, like when we got like Chateaubriand and stuff in first class. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those
yeah.
days are long gone. Yeah.
They say, would you prefer the chicken or the steak for dinner? They don't ask that anymore.
Yeah. No.
You get pretzels or you get crackers. Choose one.
Yeah.
And don't be stingy with them all.
Yeah. And make sure you give me that hot fudge sundae too at the end. Yes.
It used to be an experience. Yeah, I guess that's what they say. Like the TSA guys now, like, oh, if people would dress up and be more cordial and be more civil, that'll make things go better. Like, I don't know if that's going to really affect how fast you can get from here or there, but when we did get that stuff back then, people were kind of wearing the suits and stuff. People were more dressed up back in the day. Yeah. It was like your mom make you put on your Sunday best. We're going to take a flight. You got to get dressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when you had Buster Brown shoes and
got out your best Stacey Adams. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kids would be in the what was those the pants back in the day? Oh shoot. I'm trying to think of there was like certain pants that kids had. Like they had like the Husky version, but it was like a brand.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of like
You're not thinking of like Tough Skins, are you? From
Tough
Sears?
Skins, like Tough Skins or whatever like that. Like, you had to have the nice and clean and pressed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to the airport and like you're a little kid, your mom's like, don't be rolling around on the floor. That's your Sunday pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different time for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So this other one that we saw. This is the one taking a look at ask the pros how does Scratch put 131 different botanicals into a beer that still tastes great. So this is Scratch up in Ava, Illinois.
Yeah.
Reputation for combining foraging of flavor and finesse. Ended up putting 131 botanical ingredients into one tasty beer. Now, this is the one that you came across. Have you had this beer, or was it something that's
I have not. Like, they're like down like St. Louis area on the Illinois side of that. So they're like, I think they're the southernmost brewery in Illinois. So they're way down there. So we don't get any of them here. I think Brian from 314 in St. Louis, I think he might have sent me a Scratch before, but not that one. But it just sounds like really interesting with just everything that they put in there. I'm kind of thinking like a gin-like feel to that. So it's something that's on my radar. I'm going to have to try to get.
Yeah, something with that many botanicals. I mean, you could have actually had that gin barreled in there too, probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll do that on another edition.
But they said, like, I think if you read towards the bottom of the article, it's not like 131 different plants. Like they're counting like the stem, everything else is a different botanical. So I don't think it's like, 7 herbs and spices or whatever it is. I think, you add everything up, it's 131.
Gotcha. Yeah, except for Scratch, 131 was about more than seeing how many ingredients could fit into a beer. It was a culmination of the expertise and know-how they have developed on the previous dozen years. Interesting. Yeah, that might be something, definitely, if you get a chance to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
It says for hickory, we use the leaf, the bark, and the seeds. That's one ingredient, 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of breaking it out like that. Wild oregano,
Like,
bee
who eats
palm.
hickory seeds and can say what things taste like?
Right.
How high are you that, oh, I'm going to try this hickory seed? You got to be high AF. You know,
Yeah. Savory herbs such as wild oregano, bee balm, perilla, and invasive plant that tastes like licorice, Virginia mountain mint. They know there was a Virginia mountain mint. Dandelion root, basil, walnuts, burdock root. You know how that is. Several mushrooms, honey, and more. Yeah, there's like throwing all kinds of stuff in here, I think, at this point.
yeah.
Just making up words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
try it. If I see it, I'm trying it.
Yeah, I mean, if they bash it, they get it out there. It must be catching on for some folks,
Yeah.
and they must have had a pretty good testing on it. 5.3% ABV on it. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, you have to keep us posted if you do get that one there for sure. Always just the interesting things we get in craft beer. And then I'm going to crack open another beer here because the next news item we're going to get into might be a little bit because there's a lot of shit happening with that one.
All right, let me grab another one too. So everybody watching, you go grab one and come join us in like 3 seconds here.
Yeah. Keg was New Belgium. Yeah, New Belgium was sending some kegs out back in the day. Oh yeah, drove to Missouri to buy a keg. Okay, all right. So that was I mean, I remember a lot of people getting stuff sent in from kegs, like for some of the bars and stuff when New Belgium was probably late 90s or so. It was just so popular. Hiked the keg a mile to a lake in Southern Illinois for a huge party. Wow. That's like super bad. You guys are just going with carrying this keg like for a mile.
Yeah. I can't read any of the comments because I'm watching this on my phone.
Oh yeah.
I can't see that.
Mobile.
Yeah. No, that's like, oh no, I can't read that.
What KO was saying back in college, they actually had got a keg to take to a party. It ended up being New Belgium. And it literally hiked a mile to get it to the party, which was a huge party. So I said that's like super bad when they got like the alcohol and they're trying to get to the party. Although theirs was a lot lighter than carrying a keg for a mile. Southern Illinois, some good fruit wineries. Yeah, I haven't been to a winery in a while.
No,
but I like to when I go.
Where my dad is from.
I just haven't been to one, but I do like going to wineries.
Yeah.
Let me drink this one. I mean, it's my last one, but I'm going to go ahead and do the Wookie Jack here from Firestone.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to actually do the anniversary ale tomorrow to get that review done. So,
yeah, that was phenomenal. I got to post the review of that. That was fantastic.
Firestone, they do some good stuff. Yeah.
Actually, they have a friend of mine saw it and texted me the picture. He's like, I know you had to try this. It was a collaboration between Firestone and Revolution. And it was something, my wife's name is Ruby, and it was something like Ruby related. I'm like, I have not seen that, but I will have to pick that up. But he said it was like, I don't know, $9-10 for like a single, but I don't know if it was barrel aged or not, but I'll have to have a look out for that.
Yeah, that would definitely be something to look into for sure with those two getting together. Kettle in the house. Yeah. Cheers, Kettlehead. Great to see you, my friend. Happy Saturday to you.
I cracked open Jingle Balls. This is spiteful here in Chicago. This has nutmeg, ginger, and cinnamon. So little Jingle Balls action here.
I don't know. That's kind of like fitting going into the next story I'm kind of going into here, but let's go ahead and get it out there because it is news. It is news, and not the Midwest, but it is news. And the shit that people do, I'll never understand it. that being said, let's talk a little Sycamore Brewing and what the hell is going on over there. So Sycamore Brewing out of Charlotte, North Carolina, which I didn't realize was actually the biggest brewery in Charlotte. That's interesting. And I probably should say a disclaimer. I mean, you shouldn't be watching this with kids anyway. I mean, we're drinking beer. We're talking about a lot of stuff that's more adult topic stuff, but this one's a little bit more sensitive. But the owner here, the co-owner, Justin Brigham, arrested and accused of breaking in to a house and having improper, I can say improper relation. He raped a 13-year-old is what the story is. So I don't know if you saw that out there, Dave, or not yet, but it's blowing up social media.
I have not. If it came out in the last day or so, I have not seen it.
Yeah. So
this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah. So this stuff broke out Thursday. And I've only had one Sycamore beer from them over the years, but it's been blowing up social media like crazy. His wife is a co-owner of the brewery. So they released a statement basically divesting him of the company. But see, she's got a different last name than his. So right. It's like, you didn't know that at first. Wait a second. People are coming out, well, that's his wife. So it's like, well, he's not on the thing. You're saying he's not going to be on the thing, but you're still married to him. So is there still proceeds or whatever that and everything? And they're saying all that stuff. And then the state of North Carolina responded saying he has not been taken off of anything until we get the form. He is still part. So it's kind of like, this is digging in into North Carolina. So now you have bars and suppliers dumping their stuff, just pulling it from shelves. You have a few places that are saying, we're going to sell it and send all the proceeds to the local rape shelter or whatever it may be. One place was even down in South Carolina, pay us what you want, whatever you want. If you want this, and we'll take that money because all of it's going to the rape shelter here locally. Yeah. And this is just unraveling crazy speed of what's taking place, which the whole thing is a heinous thing. So, you definitely, at first the wife released a statement to try to get ahead of it, which, that's what you want to do. But it was kind of there wasn't much to the statement. And people were like, you're not saying shit. You're not saying shit with this, right? And though another statement just came out, someone sat down with her to help write a better statement. But at this point, it's damage has been done. And it's just this guy's 44 years old. And now it's come out for someone else. One of the people that told me is what they're finding out. He actually found this girl on the internet and had been actually emailing back with her. So he knew it was a 13-year-old. And it's just dude. And now it's becoming all questionable. Some of their can labeling over the years, they've had stuff on their cans where it's reindeer in different sexual positions doing stuff. They had snowflakes where they're using dildos or strap-ons that's making out the snow. It's all this stuff's now coming into question. Now we're seeing where this is all coming from, possibly because of this dude and the stuff in his head. And it's just one of the most bizarre. We were talking about it in another group yesterday, and it's this is a Dateline episode on what's taking place here. So, so it's interesting, right? And you're the thing. Obviously, you feel bad for the victim. You feel bad for the wife and the children because they had children as well. Because if they didn't know what was going on, I mean, we don't know fully what the wife may know as yet, but the employees, I mean, they're looking at being out there, maybe having to be out of a job. It's just one thing like this just brought down this whole thing. And it's just it's just been crazy to see all the stuff happening and just how quick people are just pulling their stuff. And some people people were just dumping their beers. And I was thinking whenever I saw people dumping, I'm don't dump. Take the money and give it to somebody else. Would that be something
I don't care if the money was going somewhere else. I would just donate that money to somewhere else and not drink it. I would just we joke around all the time about the deals we get your Rod J deals or what I see at Costco or whatever, but there's a line, and that's the line that's drawn. I'll just donate. I'll give the money to a charity and buy good beer. and not
Right.
worry about like having that beer touch my lips.
Yeah. And so this happened Thursday. So we're about 48 to 72 hours in, and it's just like more and more stuff coming out. And now it's to the point that, from the last stuff that I was reading on before we went live tonight, where obviously the wife saying devastated, all that kind of stuff, and trying to piece together what she can. But it's kind of like, I don't know how you say that. Like, I don't know if she could be a part of the brewery anymore. Like, it's like you'd have to basically divest her out too and get someone else possibly in, or have the employees take over or do something. Because, I mean, there's going to be that question of, and they basically came out in the new statement saying none of their money coming in is going to be going to his legal fees. So people don't really know that for sure, right? So people are going to have those concerns and stuff too. So.
I mean, unless she just comes out and goes scorched earth on him and just says, you know what, F him, all of this, we're doing this for, me, the employees, but, F him. I don't know how you could have anything to do with that brewery.
Right. And the judge put a $10 million bond. So $10 million bond tells you how heinous of a crime it was, all the stuff that was involved here. And obviously the wife's not bailing him out. So I don't know if he's going to be stuck. He'll probably be stuck in there for whatever. And until he goes to trial or whatever, the hearing, whatever it may be. And it's just like, you thought Shimon Moore messed up, which Shimon Moore did mess up. I mean, you got caught. You can't go break into the lady's house because you got caught, right?
Yeah.
But this guy, man, it's just like on a whole different level. And it's just kind of like, I don't know what goes through some of these people's heads and stuff. But again, now that people see that, now they're going back and seeing some of the old previous labeling and kind of seeing, there was a sign here that might have been something to offer. A sign here might have been like, it's crazy. So, I mean, thoughts for the recovery of the 13-year-old, obviously, and to be able to deal with that and get any help that she needs to get, and the family that's got to deal with her and all that stuff. But it's just like, what kind of world are we living in? It's just crazy. So something to keep an eye on there. As more people are finding out about the whole situation, it's kind of like, what are you going to do? I mean, so they may be around for a bit. They may not. I mean, the whole Charlotte area is kind of devastated by it, and we'll keep an eye and see what's going on. Kettle said he was reading about this yesterday too. Yeah, it's starting to really make the waves that are going around, and I'm sure you'll see more and more popping up on stuff this next week. Colorado from Left Hand, nice. Very nice. Left Hand actually just going to merge with Dry Dock. So Dry Dock's going to be going into Left Hand, and they're going to be selling one of their other locations. They're trying to find a buyer for. But I saw that earlier today as well. But I didn't have a chance to put it into the news. But they'll be teaming up. Left Hand's such a great job. I need to get Gary back on again and talk about some of the stuff they're doing out there. But the whole Sycamore thing is just like, dude, it's just like you read through it and it's just like you would hope like this guy would walk in the room with Chris Hansen would have been there or something, It's just like such a messed up situation. They said they checked with the Secretary of State website. It still shows him as buying manager and registered agent still, so that hasn't changed yet.
Yeah, but if that only came out Thursday, I mean, it's going to take a while to remove him from everything. You're not going to have updated state records in 2 days.
No, they said according to the Secretary of State's website, once the form is submitted, change will take place that day unless otherwise requested. So obviously with everything flying around, the forms haven't gotten there yet. But, right now, verbally, so they basically issued about pulling them off of everything.
I'm sure the wife has other things on her mind right now than, who's a co-owner of the brewery.
Oh yeah, with the whole family and all that kind of stuff there. But like, Food Lion's a big chain down where they're at. They made the decision to start removing the product from shelves and discontinuing all future orders. Wegmans, which is huge for a lot of their stuff, people love the beer stuff they get. They pulled them as well for what they're going to be doing going forward. So and so once they hit like some of the distributors refuse to carry them, they can't even get stuff out to other places because the tier system, right? So. It's just like one of those things. It's crazy. It's crazy. But that is one of the bigger news stories that kind of broke out this past few days, past week. And like I said, more and more, I'm seeing more things pop up on it. You just wonder about that kind of stuff. It's just weird. And I was kind of curious how he may have come across this individual, because one of the things we talked about in the past has been children in breweries, right? Like if you bring a child into a brewery, you're bringing them into an adult setting. And, sometimes parents can lose attention span. We've seen it when the children run around and parents aren't paying attention. And it's like, you don't know who's all in that brewery working. Like he could have been a pedophile in the brewery, has their information from where they paid their tab, if they had their credit cards like that, could have located them and filed them. But the fact that he was actively on the internet with this person and exchanging stuff with this, parents, you got to make sure you're checking your kids' accounts out there too. I mean, not to put on the parents. I'm just saying, people were like out here doing some crazy stuff.
And I'm sure that's not the first kid this guy messed with. So
probably, usually it's not. Something like that happens. Yeah.
So no.
Fuck. And I don't know if he has a son or a daughter, but you have to worry at home. Like, did he ever try anything with their kid? I mean, the wife might be asking the daughter now, like, did that daddy ever tried to do this or that?
Oh yeah,
it's just crazy. But not the kind of news we like to really talk about on here, but just one of those things where it just couldn't be avoided. It's just that big of a story taking place right now. So keep an eye on that. Also, between this show and last show, December 5th, if you didn't know, was actually Repeal Day. And that was the end of Prohibition on that day in 1933. So unfortunately, we weren't here to celebrate with you, but hopefully you did have one that you raised that day for December 5th for Repeal Day.
You know what's sad, just thinking about this and doing the math? I was born closer to Repeal Day than I am to today.
Yeah, well, if you are, then that means I am too.
Yeah.
Probably. Thanks, Dave. Way to cheer me up on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we go right from one topic to another here.
Just keep swinging away.
Yeah. I'm looking because I'm doing this on my phone, and it's like, I look like fucking Beetlejuice here. What the fuck is with this like angle? I got like this little head and this big.
I mean, you got the black shirt on. Like,
look like fucking Beetlejuice. God.
God damn. So the other thing I just saw recently here too, and it is macro, but unfortunately, it is going to be affecting some people as well. Although I will say they are seemingly doing the right thing in a way for where they can. So we had Anheuser-Busch. They're going to close their 70-year-old production brewery there in Newark. They're also closing another one that is in New Hampshire. And I just read earlier tonight, they're doing a third one as well. So they're going to be closing these breweries out, citing basically, I guess they're pulled too thin. They need to get things back under control. But they are saying like the 475 employees at all three plants will be offered jobs at other facilities if they can actually move and be able to take on new positions. And if not, they'll be looking at severance packages for them. So go ahead. What'd you say, Dave? He said, who can?
I'm starting to. I think we're back. I was starting to lose you for a second.
Yeah, you were talking and you went out, and then I think you're back now.
Yeah, all right. I think it's back now. Yeah, everything was kind of choppy and frozen for a second, but I think you're back.
Yeah. No, I think I was here the whole time. I think you're back. I think it was like the thing was because you were saying you got cut off there, but you were saying who can.
I got some tinfoil on the edge of my phone trying to get a signal here.
You need a kid to stand by the rabbit ears and hold the antenna. I think Dave's going back and forth right now. I see your lips are moving there.
I don't know if I could put a coat hanger in this phone. Yeah.
But if the employees can make the move, then they're going to set them up there with some positions and all that kind of stuff. But whether or not you can make a move or not could be tough. If you got a family, you might not want to uproot the whole family to move cross country to wherever you may have to go. It may not be worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But if you can't, hopefully the severance package is a good package they actually offer. But the breweries are closing. This was 75-year-old. They basically call it iconic there in New Jersey. It was one of the earlier ones, opened in 1951, when they're kind of doing a remodernization of Anheuser-Busch. And then the one in New Hampshire, I think, was 50 years old. Can't remember how much the other one was as well. So sad to see, but not only are craft breweries being affected on things, some of the big boys are too. So they're feeling a pinch a little bit. It's just the cost of doing business nowadays went up, I guess you could say. Also, shout out to New Trail in Pennsylvania. They were named Brewbound's Craft Brewery of the Year. And if you never had New Trail beer, I would definitely recommend it. They do some phenomenal stuff. Everything I've had for them has been so good. So, but the Brewbound just had their annual awards. That was one that I saw there. So maybe in a couple weeks when we do the end of the year wrap, we'll have more of those. We can kind of go over who may have won different things during the course of the year, kind of like an end of year type thing, and then talk about some of the beers we really enjoyed as well over the course of 2025. Let me open this one here. And then we also had the Beer Institute. They actually just came out with their report showing more of a market decline for craft breweries, which kind of got me into doing some of the different stuff I've been kind of putting on that poll as far as how price might affect things. And on my Facebook, or actually on the blog, I had a post talking about it, but I shared it to the Facebook page as well. Kind of a feeler out there on what's taking place, but craft breweries are definitely seeing a decline on some of the things. But here's the thing. They don't see it really as being like this whole bubble being burst type thing from a lot of the perspective. It's more just the business and the contraction that's needed. It's part of the business cycle. So I forgot what it was a few months ago.
Yeah.
I think the net number to gain and loss from this year and last year was only like 30 or 40. So it wasn't like a huge amount was really being lost at all. You're having less sales because people are drinking less or they're choosing different type of things, which I'll talk about here in a second as well. But you look at during the course of the year, October, again, the contraction, 3.8%. September rose 1%, the only gain in 2025. August slid. July dipped. June narrowed the loss. They're not huge falling out. February was a huge one, 16.4. January, 8.6. And I think part of January and February, if I had to speculate, might be part of more and more people getting into the dry January. And there were a lot of people that came out of January and didn't want to go back still. And they might have bled into February as well. So you had the rise of the NA.
Yeah, like I'm going to do the dry January again this year. Just kind of reset everything so I don't look like a beached fucking whale when I'm doing this show. So I want to try to drop a few pounds. Going to do like dry January. And there's like, we talk a million times. We're ambassadors for Go Brewing. There's other great NA options out there. So I'm going to do that. Then, I mean, it's not going to continue into February. I still talk about beer. But, yeah, I think that's a lot of it, too. People are just like, they see how they're at the end of January. And you're like, oh, you know what? I'm still feeling pretty good. Drop some weight or I'm feeling better. And it's still butt cold out in most parts of the country. So, like, I could go a few more weeks without a beer.
Yeah. So they roll it right into that. Now, here's the smart thing.
But then you get the Super Bowl, then you got to really start hitting it. Yeah.
I'm going too far at this point. I got to get back.
Yeah.
The thing that you have here, though, is also the opportunity. Because if you're seeing these things are bleeding out, and this is why you're seeing more people get on board. We talked about Rheingeist a little bit ago, and you mentioned Go and different, like, breweries are getting their NA beer out there. Because if you're seeing a drop off in that, but you're seeing where NA could be an opportunity, you make that NA beer, and that helps to bring sales back up. So you've got to meet the people where they are. So I think that it'll be interesting to keep an eye on to see how much farther it goes. But I like I said, the number that we're still 9,000 plus. It's not a huge drop off. It's just we do have a lot of breweries out there, and let's face it, I'll say like with Sycamore, when I went back and looked at the beer I had for them, I think I rated it a 3 out of 5. It was okay. Yeah. It wasn't great. It wasn't like a huge solid craft beer. And I talked to some other people with the whole Sycamore thing, and I've had a couple other people talk about, well, their beers are okay. They weren't really knocking you back or anything like that and everything. So if you're not putting that great product out there, because people at what we're paying now are going to want to have that product be efficient. We want to put our dollars into what's going to be worth it, right? Otherwise, we're not going to buy that anymore. You get nowadays, you get one chance with a craft drinker to enjoy your beer, and if you miss that mark, you may lose them. So it's a different type of world right now. Hey, what's up, Poorly? Definitely a market correction from years of oversaturation, not a pop. Exactly, and that's what I tried. Yeah. I was talking on the stream last night, commenting, and one of the guys kept saying, "Oh, the bubble." They're like, there is no bubble. It's not a bubble. There's no bubble. It's just basically, if you know anything about business and the business cycle, this is a contraction type phase. You have to basically have this take place to get rid of the ones that aren't coming up to the other level, and basically weed
thinning the herd.
Ones. Yeah.
Also and it's hard. I'm still getting a little lag here, but a lot of people in the early days of craft beer were brewers, and these were home brewers that were doing it. And in the last few years, people saw where the market was going, and you're getting money people involved. Well, the money people, quote from the great movie Hunt for Red October, they're going to want it back. So the money people aren't getting their money back. They're closing things down. So I just think it's thinning the herd. We're going to get back to where you have brewers that are opening things up, and it's going to be better for consumers down the road.
Agreed. Yeah.
And
I think that's what you have to have, and then that keeps people moving forward on things, and it comes up with other ideas, like Portland said here. Handful of breweries that are doing root beer, ginger beer, and the like. One place we don't ever talk about as much, even though they have like their beer line, it's like say BJ's. You guys got BJ's there, BJ's Brew House.
We had it for a while. Then we had like the Ram that was big here for a bit, but now they're gone. So we don't have any of like the Rock Bottoms, the Ram, BJ's anymore. Yeah,
BJ's may have one of the best craft root beers I think I've ever had. Like when you if you're a root beer fan and you have a BJ's, you got to get their craft root beer. It is just that phenomenal. But you have breweries that move in those other areas where they see opportunity. It's all innovation. It's not anymore. I can brew, a great Kolsch. I'm going to go sell it to all the people. They're going to come knocking on the door to get my Kolsch. It doesn't happen that way. You got to be out there to be able to be versatile and make the moves you need to make to actually adjust with the market. So again, craft beer sales may be down in one area, but we know NA is the fastest growing part of craft beer. Are you making NA beer? Because if you're not, you're probably missing opportunities to actually grow out. So
or you could even contract an NA beer and put your name on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw a brewery out there because who knows? But if just hypothetically, and I know nothing what's going on, but if Half Acre were to put out a Daisy Cutter NA, or any brewery puts out their flagship name with NA, you're going to get people to buy it, even if they wouldn't drink an NA. Like, I'm curious. Now I'm going to try this.
Right. Yeah. I think that's how it actually works out. And like I said, some of the people doing it side by side and kind of comparing it to it's good. It's good to have that other option available. Again, it's scaling to what the market may be. Now, obviously, if you're a brewery, to shift from alcoholic and to throw it in a line to make an NA, it's not an easy thing to do. There's a cost and expense that are a part of that. But if you can make that jump and you can make that satisfaction, and now you control where you can offer that as well, or if you don't want to do that, like Dave mentioned, like Go Brewing, for instance, works with a lot of breweries where they just provide the Go product there, and then the breweries will sell it under them. and it kind of works out. You don't have to worry about doing anything for NA. But I always come back to the thing, and I've explained this like talking to some of the different breweries. If you want to get the maximization of people coming to your brewery, because more breweries, in this next piece I'm going to share kind of hits this as a point too, it's got to be almost a destination. So if I'm going out, brewery is a communal type thing for a lot of people. So if you're going to go out with a group, you want to have something everybody can kind of enjoy. And if it comes to a brewery that says they don't have an NA versus one that has an NA, that group of 10 may go to the one with the NA because they know a couple people don't like to drink beer that much, or they like the non-alcoholic versions. Now you lost 8 beer drinking customers and 2 other NA customers, where the other brewery can now pick up from that. So it has to be a situation where you're able to, if you can, meet that need there. And if you can't do it off of your stuff, get a contractor come in and do some stuff off of it, to put that stuff out there.
And we saw years ago, 8 years ago, where you'd see breweries, putting in ciders because some people have dietary restrictions and they can't have gluten. Well, they provided ciders for their customers that had like dietary restrictions. You got to do it. You got to put NA stuff out there. Seltzers, I think, have come and gone. I think that's on the way out, but you got to do something. You got to meet these customers. You got to meet the groups that are out there. You don't need to convert your whole line to it, but at least have something there where, hey, I have a dietary restriction, or, I'm not drinking alcohol. You can invite me in as well, where I feel welcome too.
Right. Yeah, that's the smart move to make. And cheers, Jimmy. Great to see you, my friend. Happy Saturday to you. But as an example today, so 3 Floyds out of Indiana, they just released, I didn't do a story on it, but they just are releasing or just released their barrel-aged Trolls, which is a favorite from over the years. It just came back out. It's an Imperial barrel-aged stout done with vanilla bean. And I went on, you can go on their website and put your zip code, and it'll tell you what beers are around you from 3 Floyds. Pulled up a coffee shop that's like a mile from me down the road. I'm like, a coffee shop? That's weird. Yeah. I go to the coffee shop site. They have the coffee stuff, but they also have beers. And because they're branching out for other people that might want to come in. You might not want a coffee. You might want a craft beer. You might want a cider. It's those opportunities. I mean, it's just basic marketing. I go to Whole Foods. Whole Foods has their hot bar and all kind of stuff, but they also have taps on there for people that might want to have a beer. They have different things. You might want a wine. They have a wine thing you can do. So it's like breweries have got to be in that same mindset as well. Like, what are we not capturing? How do we capture that? You don't have food at your place. I can understand that because that's a whole different set of rules you got to play if you're making food there. But if you contract with a food truck, there's your opportunity. Because the more people that eat food are going to stay there and drink more, and you'll make more profit off of it. So, again, these are the marketing things that people should know if they're doing these type of businesses. But
there was a spot here, and I don't know if they're still open, but this was like the greatest spot in the world. It was next to a train station, and I forget the name of it, but we went there. In the morning, it was a high-end coffee shop because you would get people going on the train going to work. And after like 5 o'clock, it became this high-end bar where you would get like killer cocktails, great, mixed drinks and beer, craft beer, whatever. I'm like, that is the coolest idea ever because you're open all day getting people in.
Right. You're flipping the switch to the next thing, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You got to be eye open for opportunity. And that's how you build your business. So yeah. So again,
you can look hustling.
If you're looking at it and sales are down over here, is there a way you can bring sales up on another lane? Just putting it out there. I mean, there's opportunities. And if you don't know, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to consult. So
absolutely.
I do marketing for a living and stuff. I can definitely show you some things you might be missing there. But here we also had, this is the last story one I had for tonight. And this is one of the things you run into as well. Now this story talks about legal marijuana among 5 reasons why craft beer is changing in Michigan. And it's using Michigan as an example here. but then it hits into different things that are taking place on why people might be drinking less, basically. And yeah, it's marijuana is another option that a lot didn't have, years ago. And that's something you have to be aware of. And then it made note here, like craft growth, it began to slow before COVID. So things that kind of shifted some. So there's a different mindset that might have come into play. It also makes mention on here, and this is what we just hit on, diversification beyond beer. It's not just about beer, but it's also meat and other stuff. And that's why it says businesses are adding spirits, wines, ciders, and full food menus. You have to bring more to the table. This is the part that talks about the competition with cannabis and then also canned cocktails. We talk about the RTDs. I actually am going to be featuring some RTDs on the channel that I've recently done some reviews on, because RTDs are becoming much more of an impact in the beverage market. You get an RTD for $9.99. That's a 20% ABV poured over ice versus what you may pay on some of these other beers, and you just only want to get like one drink. It becomes a somewhat of a competitor in that regard too. So you have to be prepared for those type of things. And then go ahead. Were you gonna say something, Dave?
No, it just broke up again, but we're back.
Oh, okay.
I got 2 bars still. I'm just looking at my signal here. I got 2 bars.
And thank you all for bearing with us with Dave's going through the whole technical stuff here too, by the way. But yeah, the other thing that I'm hearing, this is what I was kind of alluding to, you have to shift everything to a taproom experience, as noted like in this piece here. With so many different things happening, so many different things being added out there in the marketplace, trying to get attention of said beer drinkers, so to speak, what makes your brewery stand out? Why should they come to your brewery versus going to another? What is your thing to grab the consumer to come in? And if you're not actually appealing to that and you're just a brewery that's just there, well, we make good beer. If that's your answer, you're going to be in trouble probably, because you have to have things there to cater to make people say, okay, this would be a good experience. Let's go down to Mantry tonight. Let's go to Rheingeist. Let's go to Hop Butcher. Let's shoot over to Revolution. You got to make it some type of experience where people want to come out, because I went back to that poll I shared earlier. People are going out less as far as answering the poll right now, and that little bit of a sampling taking place. And it's got to be impactful for where they want to actually go. And then the other part, and this is something that, unfortunately, some of it's out of the brewery's control, but economic pressures on both sides. One, for consumers not having as much to maybe spend now, but also the price of ingredients due to some of the tariff type BS stuff that's taking place and things along those lines, where ingredients are now costing more. They got to raise prices more, and the people don't want to pay those prices. But the reason they have to raise prices is because we're charging countries other prices to bring stuff in. And it's just like a price war you're in without any chance of being able to defend yourself and be prepared for it. It's unfortunately a situation that some of the breweries are running into as well. So kind of an interesting piece, kind of hitting on some different things.
Yeah, we talked about 9 months ago when we did our show on tariffs, the bulk of the base malt of the majority of breweries in this country, craft breweries, comes from Canada. So you have these tariffs. The base malt, which is 80 to more percent of a craft beer, comes from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The prices go up. Beer's going up.
Right. And the issue you have is
then you have your aluminum and everything else.
Yeah, to add all that stuff in. And sometimes, a common response sometimes is to grow malts here, where you can't always grow the malts in our country that you can grow in other ones. It's just like the land's not fertile enough to actually grow certain things that we need to get, right? So
certain parts of the country are better suited for growing certain products. Like you always had, like Virginia and stuff with tobacco. You couldn't grow that in other parts of the country. Certain parts of the country are great for barley and stuff that we would use in beer. Other parts just aren't. So you can't just say, oh yeah, you could just grow barley here. It's not always workable.
Right. It's kind of like oil refinery, right?
Yeah,
You can only refine a certain level of oil. Like people always say, well,
yeah,
we just drill for our own oil. Well, you can't just drilling for our own oil doesn't solve the problem because we don't have anywhere
yeah,
to refine it. It's going to be just batched away until we can refine it. So you're not really doing anything to help the situation by doing it. So
yeah.
it's just, it's math, it's science, it's putting everything together. But yeah. But that's the beer stories I had for this week. I mean,
I'm
is there
gonna
anything
crack
else
one
that you
more.
may
I'm
have
sure
saw?
we'll wrap this up in a
Oh
bit,
yeah,
but
yeah, we could
let
chat
me
now.
crack
Yeah.
one. I'm moving my mouse like I'm gonna hit pause. I gotta hit the phone to stop the camera while I get a beer. Hold on 1 second.
All right. Yeah, and if people have questions or comments or want to chat, fire away for sure. But that's a lot of the beer news stuff. I will say, if you haven't seen or you've seen and you haven't picked up Wookie Jack from Firestone, if you're a black IPA fan, this needs to be in your fridge. This needs to be in front of you. Firestone knocks out a park again with this one here, the Black Rye IPA. Well
Yeah,
worth giving this a try. And
that's like the gold standard of black IPA.
yeah, unfortunately, it's my last one that I actually have, but it will be missed. I may play taps later because of not being here anymore.
This is like almost like a milky pour here. It's
What is
almost
that
like,
one? Yeah.
what is this? I'm doing a Pilsner, a local Pilsner here from Chicago, Hopewell Brewing. This is Pills, but
The
it's
head of that
foamy.
thing. Yeah, the Full Metal Jacket, that might have cost you more dollars on that one.
Yeah.
For anybody that saw Full Metal Jacket, you might know the scene I'm talking about. But yeah, to sit back and enjoy this is a nice one there for sure. Talking about beer, April. I think it's April that the CBC will be doing that in Philadelphia. So that will be upcoming here. Wow, I can't believe it's like 5 months out now.
Yeah.
So I'm still taking a look to see if I might be able to attend that there. Trying to think of any other beer news that's really taking place. There's nothing. I mean, locally.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Everything's in the cloud. I was going to say I had some stuff in beer and beverage news, but I don't know if I could access it if it's in the cloud. Oh, one thing I did see, I don't know if you saw it, that it's the last year of the stadium in Buffalo where the Bills play, and Bud Light is coming out with the beer. I guess they took a ton of snow and they purified it and they made Bud Light with the snow from the stadium in Buffalo. I know they've changed corporate names a few times. It might be called Highmark now, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but if you're in like the Buffalo area, you could get this Bud Light made from the snow from the stadium there.
Yeah, I did see that one, and I want to with this like something freeze maybe. Let's see here. So I did see that one out there as well, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. And I know, like, I think Coors Light did before similar stuff with like hockey teams when they won the Stanley Cup and they melted the ice down and purified it, which I hope they did because hockey players spit. You better purify that shit before you put that in beer. But they made beer from like Stanley Cup champions ice.
Yeah. Okay. It's such a gimmick type play to kind of do that.
Yeah.
But then, like, you're our locals, kind of like, you're like, oh, this is cool. He did it for us here,
Yeah. I mean, that would be something like you would just save the can, like if you're a collector.
Yeah. Like, if they did something there like that for the Blackhawks, if the Blackhawks, they were getting rid of that stadium or something, would be a cool thing for Chicago.
Yeah.
I just see it was a weird thing. Budweiser's offering a free round of beer if you've been vaccinated. I didn't think they were still doing stuff with the COVID-19 stuff, but
yeah, I didn't either.
For
adults, I just got my jab
a
couple weeks ago. I'll send them my picture.
Yeah, Budweiser rewarding adults who have received COVID-19 with a free round of Budweiser. I I guess they're trying to get more people to get it now. Maybe people are kind of not doing it.
Oh, I'm not proud. I'll drink it for a free beer.
Yeah, it'll work. It works. I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is the one here with the Buffalo Bills? It's funny as I'm looking through here, I see more stuff popping up. Seeing like Sycamore stuff just jumping up like on everything.
Yeah.
Let's put the Bills because it was a more recent story. Oh, yeah, there we go. For the Bills Mafia and Bud Light seasonal based brew. Cool looking can though. I'd give them that. I mean,
yeah,
like
no, it was a sweet looking can.
Blizzard Brew is what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. Like definitely if I was there, I would have it and I wouldn't drink it. It would just go in like on the shelf as a commemorative item.
Yeah. But I wonder if it's like part of like the Bud Light marketing plan to try to get back into good graces with some of the people they feel like they lost. I wonder.
Yeah, I think people's attention spans are gone. They forgot all about that shit.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had an interview here with Andre Reed, and they were asking him stuff on here too about how it connects.
Oh, Andre Reed was a player.
Yeah,
I had him on my fantasy football team like 35 years ago.
Yeah. I had to wonder, like back then, like would it have been worse to never make the Super Bowl, or worse to make it and lose 4 years straight? Like, would you rather not been there? Would you rather not been in the Super Bowl than to lose 4 years straight? What's the worst of the two?
You still made it. You had 4 years of parties at, wherever they were at. They sure, like, I know one was in Pasadena. One had to be in New Orleans because that's like every couple years.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they had a good time. And, the loser's cut of the Super Bowl is better than not making the playoffs at all.
I was thinking of the one country that kept sending me, why do we keep getting these damn Buffalo Bills t-shirts saying Super Bowl champion?
Yeah.
they make for people that don't know, they make t-shirts of both teams, and then the losing team usually gets sent off to like some country in Africa or something like that and everything. So you got a whole town walking around.
These kids in Ghana, Buffalo Bills,
4 years straight, these guys can't win anything, but I like the shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know, it would be worse 4 years losing straight or 4 years just losing, because you can say compare them versus the Vikings. At least the Vikings were spread out on their 4 losses.
Yeah.
In the 70s. Yeah.
Did you see that? Like, speaking of the Vikings, I just read this week, Fran Tarkenton said that one of the reasons why they lost, and like one of the years they were in the Super Bowl, he was with the Giants. So he's like, I guess he was part of 3 of their teams. Mm-hmm. He was like Bud Grant. They didn't practice that whole first week. He was like, just go rest. He's like, where other teams are practicing that first week, and then you fly out like, the week before the game. But he was like, we didn't do anything. We didn't prepare at all. And then when we got there, we were just kind of behind the 8 ball.
I didn't see that, but to that point, I would say, I forgot which player it was, but it was back in the 70s. He was a tight end, Green Bay Packers. I think it was Green Bay Packers tight end. He caught the Super Bowl, game-winning Super Bowl, game-winning touchdown.
Oh, Max McGee.
He was out the night before drinking. And
he was hungover.
Yeah, so they were getting drunk too and still winning. So I don't know, Fran. I don't know when to go with the whole week off was that much of a thing there when somebody comes in with a hangover. It sounds like a good excuse. I just don't know if I buy it fully.
But
But he was like, people forget he was like one of the early scrambling quarterbacks too back in the day.
Oh,
He can move, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had him, then Staubach came after him, and
Yeah,
then you had, the athletes that came in after that, but
yeah,
yeah, like growing up, like, you know, Staubach and Tarkenton.
yeah. Well, you talk about somebody coming in
Yeah,
later, right? Staubach went and served his 6 years in the Navy before he went into the league,
yeah,
right? So if those 6 years would have been
yeah,
like players now, he probably would have had the Cowboys cut more Super Bowls, I think, in that time being. Yeah.
yeah,
But he said, no, I got a duty. I went to the academy. I'm fulfilling my
yeah.
duty,
He
and
was
they
in
did it.
Naval
And
Academy. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But yeah, Staubach, he was the man back in the day.
yeah.
Everybody kept thinking Danny White was going to be a little train that could, but just could never get it done.
Nah, he should have stuck. He should have stayed with punting. Yeah,
Danny White was the first Tony Romo.
yeah,
Potential was there, just couldn't get over the top.
yeah, yeah. But you never want to be the guy to replace a legend. You want to be the guy after the guy. Like,
Yeah,
Danny White came in right after Staubach. You're not going to live up to that. And then when he was coming around, then you had, the Bears defense and you had LT and the Giants. Like, then
yeah,
you wound up with, the Eagles with Reggie White and Jerome and God, who else did they have?
yeah,
They had a lot of Clyde Simmons.
yeah.
Eagles had a ton of studs on that D back in the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, if Jerome Brown wouldn't have died early, I
Yeah,
mean, that front
yeah,
line was just killing it. And I remember when Reggie went to Green Bay, basically he didn't want to go to Green Bay.
yeah,
And him being a preacher, whatever, he said, I'm go talk to God or whatever like that. And God
yeah,
directed him to go to Green Bay. And he was like, at the time, I don't know if there was any other black players on the team, but he was one of the first like top black players. I went there, and they were like, "What are you doing,
yeah,
Reggie? We don't go to Green Bay." Like, what's and
yeah,
he recruited other black players to that team,
yeah.
and stuff, and it made
I've
the
been to Green
change.
Bay. There's no brothers in Green Bay.
Yeah, yeah.
If you see a brother in Green Bay, he's a Packer. Yeah,
But now it's just so common out there. But Reggie was the
yeah,
first one that really did that. Like he
yeah,
was able to bring other folks up there. So
yeah. But they still had like Sterling Sharp was there before Reggie. Sterling was, I mean, he had that neck injury. Sterling Sharp was a player.
he
Sterling
definitely
Sharp
was.
could play. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. Like, it was Shannon Sharp got his Hall of Fame induction, and it was
yeah,
before Sterling finally got in. And
yeah.
Shannon
Sterling
was
just
like,
got in last year.
yeah, and it was kind of like, his speech and stuff. And he's like, you don't get many people like you get in the Hall of Fame when you're the second best athlete in the house, because he always looked
Yeah,
up to Sterling. Sterling was always like the guy for
yeah,
him. And dude was a beast. Yeah, if he would have that neck injury,
yeah,
he would have been up there with Michael Irvin numbers and stuff like that, if not even
yeah.
higher. So yeah, he was one of the top receivers at that playing in the league at that time. That just a sight to see, So yeah, when injuries happen, they happen. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's a rough sport, but yeah. With that being said, I think we're all wrapped up here.
All right.
Right? Unless anything else you want to add there, anything you want to have coming up on your channel.
I mentioned earlier, I talked to Marty Nashel this
Mhm.
week. So let me get my internet back up and get my recordings out of the cloud and I could put that out. But that was really good. We talked about his new book, The Beer Story Project, and about the Craft Beer Hall of Fame. So that's going to come out, this week. Hopefully tomorrow, but I think Comcast is coming out Monday, so it might be Monday night when I get
Yeah.
home from work. I can piece all that together and get that out. That's about it. I'm not sure. The holidays are coming up. I might take a week or two off of the audio podcast, but I've got a couple ideas in the cooker, so we'll see
Okay.
how those pan out. But the one with Marty's going to be good. It was a good conversation.
Any key beers you're looking at have for your holiday to have? Anything special
No,
for
we're doing a beer
Christmas?
exchange tomorrow. So me and my buddies, we haven't gotten together in like a long time. So it's going to be a good time tomorrow. We're going to do like we always used to do a holiday beer exchange. So I have Fist Miss from Revolution for the group. They've got some other stuff, so I'll have some holiday beers throughout the rest of the month before I get into the ugly days of dry January. I'll have some good beers to close the month out.
There you go. Yeah, last year I had one of the Belgian Christmas beers I pulled from the cellar, which was really good. It was one of those like 25.9 magnums, right, or 25 whatever.
Oh, nice.
Ounces. Yeah, it was it was nice, all right, but 10% ABV. You're like, okay, I'm chill now. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they have any left. There was this bar, and if you know Chicago, you know Nice Lounge. It's a dump bar near Wrigley Field. They're famous. But I was there a couple years ago, and the bartender was like, "Oh, we have some vintage Anchor in the cellar." I'm like, "You do? Bring it up." And she brought up like a 7-year-old Anchor Christmas in the big Magnum.
In the big one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, bust it open. Put it on the tap. Let's open it up. And it was just phenomenal. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to get down there, but I do miss the Anchor Steam Christmas beer, our special Christmas.
Yeah. I like to keep saying, well, maybe they will bring. I mean, it's 2 years now, so I don't know if it's going to happen or not. And not a peep's really been said about what they're doing out there. And
I read that he was saying now the yogurt guy was saying that like they might be like contract doing this and doing something outside of San Francisco. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to sell. I mean, you're not going to sell that in California if you're contract brewing it and you're not doing it in the old neighborhood like you did. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably cheaper outside San Francisco from what I know about how much it costs out there for stuff. But it's kind of tied to that area, right? So
I mean, if you bought everything, you bought the land, you bought the brewery.
Yeah, don't be a tight ass. You're rich. You got money. You can get it done.
Sell some more yogurt.
Right.
Fuck, your yogurt's not cheap.
Let's do the Japani eggnog or something. Expand your horizons.
That's the worst part about being lactose intolerant is I miss eggnog. I would kill the shit out of some eggnog.
I see a lot of times the Evan Williams eggnog out there. I haven't tried it yet, but I see that's usually like over here. That's a big mover for them.
I mean, you used to get like those eggnog lattes at Starbucks before they went to like a concentrate. Like back in the day in the 90s, that would be real eggnog, and like you'd pick that up and like you tear a rotator cuff picking that cup up. That cup was like 5 pounds because it was just pure eggnog and espresso.
Yeah.
Oh. And I'd kill a drifter down the street right now for one of those. If my stomach would handle it.
That's before they went to full corporate stuff and started like, oh, we can make this in a lab instead. So
no.
When they usually made shit there. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do curls with those eggnog lattes back then.
Yeah. And I'm pretty much sure like Big Mac used to be bigger back in the day and be less, but it costs more and it's smaller now, I think.
Well, we were younger. Our hands were smaller back then.
It still just me, yeah. I was, I think my favorite McDonald's burger of all time was that they probably never bring it back, whatever. It was probably the McDLT. I used to love the McDLT.
Well, you and Ruby are like the fans of the McDLT. That was her shit right there.
That was like the Burger King competition they had, right? And they give me the white styrofoam, you had to flip it over to the other side. But that was better than
the hot stays hot and the cool stays cool.
That's how it worked out. Yeah. I wish they would bring that one back. You keep bringing back the McRib. Bring back the McDLT. I don't want the McRib. Because that's a sloppy sandwich in itself. Yeah.
No, McRib sucks.
I don't even know if that's real rib meat. Nobody knows what
onions and pickles on ribs.
It's like, don't look under the bun. Don't look under
It's like the McNugget. You know that shit ain't chicken. Yeah.
more bounce than my basketball. I could dribble this damn thing across the table. Yeah.
Yeah. There goes our McDonald's sponsorship.
Right.
Yeah.
The ice cream machine's broken anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap up because we're just rambling about stuff here now. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with another Midwest Beer Show. A couple other things coming up on the channel as well, and I'll keep you guys informed on that. One thing I didn't tell you, Dave, earlier, but I spoke to a few guys. I might put together a year-end YouTube panel of just favorite type things for 2025 as well. To have people come on and we can talk about some of the favorite beers or breweries or whatever over the year that we've seen or been to or blah, blah, blah. So stay tuned for that. Seems like a few people are interested in joining for that scenario. And yeah, lots of good stuff. Make sure, again, if you haven't checked out the community poll, check that out. Definitely want to see what your guys' thoughts on that. I'm going to be popping up some more polls on there on the community posts as I kind of compile some different information I'm looking to do about around the cost of beer, some different things, and appreciate you guys always providing feedback. And again, if you want to support the channel, don't forget down below, you can also check out some of the stuff there for the swag, t-shirts and hats and all kinds of things. There's also super chats, all that kind of stuff. Nothing ever really needed, but always helpful if you do, help support it. But I'm always here just to entertain as best I can anyway. But that being said, and then Dave, you can check out Dave's stuff too, because Dave's got Patreon and stuff out there as well.
Yeah. But also, you know, we're not going to talk to you for a few weeks. So between now and the time we see you guys next, have a great Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. It's all coming up in the next 2 weeks. So whatever anyone celebrates, I hope it's your best one ever. I hope you're enjoying a good beer from the Midwest. But, you know, wherever you are, enjoy the beer.
Ditto that for sure. And coming up on the holiday, if you do check out the link tree in my description here on the channel, there is a thing in there for the Amazon store where I have a lot of different beer gifts you can use for the beer lover you might want to give a gift to, or for yourself. So a lot of different stuff.
And if I only had internet, I'd be all over that shit.
Yeah. Different books, different glassware, different gadgets, all kinds of stuff. So feel free to check that out as well. That being said, we look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Stay safe. Have a great holiday, whatever holiday it may be. We look forward to talking to you guys in a couple of weeks. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.